When I was a young, not warthog, but small boy, I rented a special little tactical shooter on the PS2 by the name Conflict Global Terror. Yes, back then, you didn't have to pay 80 Canadian to play a game, but if you give your local library a call, they just might rent video games for free, but don't tell anybody. And while you're there, you can pick up a copy of my book, How to Hide an Entire YouTube Channel. Ha 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 ha. Well, the book isn't real, but the pain is. The first thing you might notice about this game is the resolution is crap, and the controls are crap, and the frame rate is mega crap. But I pushed through and found a really great game, one that I enjoyed so much that I purchased a slightly used PC version which came with 3 installation discs. Video games used to be wild. Conflict Global Terror, or Global Storm, does not have controller support, which makes me a sad boy, because I don't like the mousy feel in my hand and the camera jitters when I pick it up, and I couldn't sit on a couch. Anyway, I load up the game to ceasefire! Then I am greeted to a very catchy intro that contrasts quite starkly with the menu music.
We have to go now!
The game then puts me in the shoes of Connors, a do-rag-wearing maniac with a knife. I sneak up on the first guard and give him a little payback time, kicking open the door and finding 4 different packs of gear neatly laid out on the floor. The enemy isn't very good at capture and torture, but it's a 10 out of 10 on the equipment layout. I wait for the enemy to open the door to a da-do, then followed up with a da-do, a near copyright infringement of the Pink Panther theme, but we don't have time for that right now. I find my friends Bradley and Jonesy locked in cells. I push the release button, then help my dying friend Foley, rummaging for health packs as we will definitely need them. I go back to the carefully laid out equipment and instruct each squad member to pick up their respective gear, as the game has a quick use function for things that you aim at. Very groovy. I switch to Bradley, as you can play as any character at any time, and while preparing to enter the next area, an enemy enters the room shooting Connors, who then lights him up so hard that the physics get a little weird. I proceed quietly, utilizing the precise zoom feature to silently dispatch this lonesome guard.
You shot me!
Instructing my team to wait here while I scout ahead, opening a door and booping this unsuspecting man who hits his head quite hard. Concussions are no joke, and you should really get that checked out, my man. I sneak up on his friend and give him some just desserts, although the state of this kitchen makes me think they only eat 3 square meals a day with no additional luxuries. I open a door being watched by guards and deck this guy really hard before being lit up by the rest of the room. I would later realize the importance of setting my team to fire at will, but hey, we all make mistakes. The team patch themselves up and prepare to move to the next area, where I instruct them to take cover. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good either. Well, at least the alarm didn't. I attempt to thin enemy ranks from cover and discover that the game appears to use actual projectiles rather than hit scans, with every 3 shots being a tracer, which is pretty neat. The squad heals up, sends this guy flying, and then I do the opposite of a quickscope. After locating a sniper, I take my time to train my sights before pulling the trigger. After clearing the area, I turn on my fancy laser sight, taking out an enemy and struggling to pick up a medkit before making a man fly. I find myself in an advantageous position, and instead of setting up my squad properly, I use Connors for a strategy called Superior American Firepower. I order Bradley to secure the area, and he chooses to unnecessarily use the zipline. What a guy. The team find themselves at a very large area with an APC, while Jonesy and Bradley have a childish pushing contest very close to said vehicle. I impatiently open fire on the enemy and engage in a shootout so embarrassing that the enemy sniper just stops trying. Bradley smokes out the APC, while Jonesy bravely charges through gunfire to plant C4, taking a few shots in the back before dealing the decisive blow. The team assembles at the motor pool, and it's off to the next portion of the mission. I really like how this section begins with most of the team set up at the Jeep, and Foley overlooking the area. A very nice touch the devs didn't need to do. I headshot the first guard with a silenced MP5, as I am going for Red Tiger before Prestige, and I'm only on day 3. Unfortunately, firing several rounds into a nondescript metal piece of cover. I alert the guards, but it's all good because Foley's got my back. I channel my inner John Wick and move Connors up to cover Jonesy, discovering a strange flaw in the prone system as you can't fire while your character adjusts on the ground unless you're in precise mode. Very annoying, but somehow I think I'll survive. I move Bradley up and attempt to hold back the ensuing army, only to be thunked in the face by a grenade. Guy could have been a professional athlete, but now he's just face down. I hear a tank approaching and switch to Foley to get a better look. Some would consider this a mistake. I send Connors to revive him and it goes pretty well.
This will sound every 3 seconds unless something isn't okay.
I plant an anti-tank mine and it explodes off screen. Sorry, I know this must be unsatisfying, but I've got 4 men with families to take care of here and I can't always cater to your desire for entertainment. The team regroups at the Jeep, which handles very strangely, and Connors wastes a dude with a big mounted gun. I instruct the team to gear up with some enemy weapons, as you will never run short on ammo that your enemy is using. For more tips and tricks on invading impoverished countries, don't forget to subscribe. I know a lot of you have been forgetting. The team moves forward in the Jeep, and Connors wastes another guy who does a sick cartwheel. I sneak into a cave with Foley, forgetting to switch my pistol to single fire, alerting his partner. I come out of the cave with an excellent position to cover my squad, while they approach in the Jeep that is smoking a little too much for how much damage it's actually taken. We get bogged down for several minutes by what seems to be an endless supply of enemies before moving on to a well-fortified position that I take out with a sick grenade toss. Using Jonesy, I approach this roadblock to plant C4 when I realize that's a tank. I smoke out Jonesy's position and revive him before saving the game to eat breakfast, as I am in fact not 4 gruff men in the jungle, but 1 soft man who likes bacon. When I return, I for some reason give Connors the explosives, and find out it takes him way longer to plant them than Jonesy would, but it's okay because the tank didn't see him. I react quickly to get my teammates out of harm's way and hunker down while I wait for the tank to pass. Loading my save game, I use the right man for the job, also referred to as aces in their places, hiding the team while Connors turns the tank into rubble. Unfortunately, I wasn't expecting an infantry charge, and Connors pays the price before getting a very delayed revenge kill with a grenade. The team moves to a choke point, utilizing the Jeep for support before driving into sniper fire. Things get a little hairy, but we pull through and advance into enemy territory, getting into some pretty wicked firefights. Connors and Foley split left to deal with some snipers before regrouping with the squad, who then face their most challenging experience yet, dealing with enemies firing from 2 different directions, firing shots from dug-in positions. Foley and Bradley manage to take these positions and begin firing on the second, providing a clear path for Connors and Jonesy as there is another roadblock. We clear the next checkpoint when an enemy got a 7 kill streak and called in a helicopter. Loading in again, I take out every enemy with a silenced pistol, ending said kill streak with an in-place weapon, and demonstrating how important positioning is in this game. We gear up with enemy weapons and assemble at the gates. I pull off a couple stealth kills, which it turns out give a crazy amount of bonus points, and the situation quickly turns into a shootout. Jonesy throws a grenade, flushing out this sniper who begins no-scoping, bro. Come on, man! We infiltrate the warehouse, attempting to put Foley on Overwatch when a slight miscalculation on the location of a ladder. Oh my gosh, that man's fast. We rescue Foley and get back to stealth, which I almost fumbled, before feeling really bad about how this guy dies slowly. I then take Foley into one of the most intense stealth moments I've had in a long time. Oh my gosh, man, relax. Foley goes down again, so I send Connors in with a fully automatic attitude. And Jonesy reminds everyone why he is the expert in close quarters combat. We approach the final area, locating the MacGuffin we need to explode, so I fire 368 rounds into the gosh darn thing and nothing happens. After clearing out most of the helipad, a helicopter appears as it seems the MLG Pro on the other team just can't be stopped. So I blasted out of the sky, but sadly the AK-47 ammo could not be recovered. An additional helicopter shows up, and I think I have an RPG ready when... I managed to take it down, but sadly, the AK-47 ammo could not be recovered. We find our target, who must be captured alive, and it would appear he shoots his own bodyguard. A slow-mo recap shows this to be untrue, but there's no video recorders in the jungle, so the report will most likely fit the narrative chosen by the victors. Foley obtains the laser designator, while outside a tank shows up, and Jonesy bravely takes out 2 guys only to be set on fire. By what? By what? By what? Connors aims his RPG at the tank but misses. Yes, Connors. Not me, I didn't miss that. So we smoke him out and C4 the guy because we don't have any other options, and Jonesy still had 6 C4 on him. We rally at the gate and finish the mission, receiving a briefing on each squad member bloody and beaten. The following cutscene shows Foley staying behind to protect his team, and then they just leave him there and the game moves on like nothing happened. Well, there it is, an absolutely gripping gem of the squad-based shooter world. Tune in next time where we escort the senator to safety and absolutely nothing goes wrong.